Hello, 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 a very warm welcome to all our friends, viewers, stakeholders, fans of Africa Rise with Susan West. It's been a very, very long time we came on live here, but I'm super excited to come on live today to talk about a few things that concerns every single person, every individual, whether male or female, would like to, get a thing or two from today's broadcast about health. So the title for today is Medical Stereotyping and Avoidable Deaths in Nigerian Youths. So basically, as you join this broadcast, do the needful. Share, 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 and invite your friends and family to join in on the conversation. Of course, you can put in your comments or questions if you do have any. We are streaming to Facebook and YouTube. A lot of my guests are having issues coming on, so we have the main man, Charlie Boy Area Father, aka, who is the main topic. Literally, he's the topic for today, but he's having issues coming on. We're gonna try and have him ring us up, and you will be able to hear his voice even if you're not able to see him. Yeah. So yes, welcome. Remember to like, share, follow us on all our channels. It's Africa Rise TV on Facebook, Africa Rise TV on YouTube and Instagram. All right. I hope you missed me because I did miss you. Okay. So shortly, you will be hearing the voices of all the guests. They will do a short introduction of themselves. Of course, for Charlie Boy, everybody knows Charlie Boy. Who doesn't know him? But we're going to be hearing his voice. I'm going to bring a special sister of mine. She is a herbalist. Yes, you heard me right. Herbalist. If you've ever had any issues with health or things to do with male, men's health, she's the go-to person. Her name is, well, she's known on social media as Susan Herbal Tip. She's also Susan. Yes, she's my namesake. So she will be coming on. And can we have Susan on? And then, hello, Susan.
Hi, namesake. How you doing?
I'm very
Good
well.
evening from my end.
Yes. So really quickly, we will bring on Dr. Chido. Dr. Chido is a founder of Hungry and Angry, and is a charity and a non-governmental organization. They go around doing a lot of good to people who need it. And of course, we have Dr. Clive. Dr. Clive is a medical practitioner, and so it would be nice to have a little bit of, um, contributions from a medical point of view. And of course, last not the least is Charlie Boy Area Father. Area Father, you need to say hello to the guests.
Hello, guest. This is the Charlie Boy, the king of boys, the area father, the father of their fathers. Yes, and the president of all frustrated Nigerians. Let me day here, so.
Oh, thank
Mm.
you. We just want to say a very big thank you to Charlie Boy. The reason is because it's been so stressful trying to get him on, and that technology sometimes is just not a good a friend. But he's just been out of the hospital barely a week ago, and he's still willing to share his experience and his story just to help other young people or other men and young people all around the continent of Africa, especially Nigeria. So, yes, first we will start by having Charlie Boy talk about what happened. Charlie Boy, can you tell us what happened to you? Because you joke around with a lot of things. So sometimes when you're saying things that are serious, even I didn't even realize how serious it was.
So sometimes people just think I'm catching my cruise. They don't. They think I'm just making fun out of something. Yes, I remember when I said, my prick don't die. Oh. Nobody believed me, But I've been having this problem, this prostrate problem for the past 4 years, okay? The first 2 years was was horrible for me because I had a weak bladder. I couldn't hold my pee, or rather, my bladder was hyperactive or something. Because if I felt like peeing and I wasn't like a foot away from the toilet, I probably end up peeing on myself, which wasn't too cool. that continued for a very long time. So I went to met the doctor. They prescribed some medications for me to take. But guess what? I've discovered through all those challenges I've been having, I've discovered that for every medication that you take, there's a cost. There's a side effect. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they gave me this medication, even though it helped me I could control my bladder a bit more. I wasn't peeing on myself any longer, But guess what? All the factory where the sperm is being produced was attacked. And then, when a man climaxes or ejaculates, and you don't have a sizable quantity of sperm coming out, of you, I mean, sex becomes a drag.
Wow.
Okay? And that was what I now experienced for another year and a half. Yeah? And then, the first place, this whole medical challenge attacks is your mind.
Absolutely.
Because you start to feel less of a man. And probably that is why men are always very secretive, about this problem. Because for something that is attacking your manhood, it's like, hey, I beg no mention, I will make my enemies no come, the one way they worry me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they are men and they are men. I'm not that kind of man. I'm not a man that if something worries me that I won't cry.
That's right.
I'm not a man that I could leave something, the thing go they see in my body, I no go shout, make I know, if there will be any help from any quarters. So at first I was making a joke out of it, and then I kept on going for series of tests. This was why this problem lasted for so long, for almost 4 years. Because when I go for my PSA, is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fluctuating between 2.0 to 2.5. And some of the doctors I met here in Nigeria would say to me, listen, for your age, you are doing fantastically well. You don't need to do anything. Just keep popping these pills. And between me and you and God, I don't like popping pills of any, even if I have a simple thing, a headache. They hard for me to take drugs. I'm not just, that's one habit. But if I'm sick and I need to get better, of course, I'll just manage, because I want to be healthy all the time.
Of course.
So they now prescribed another set of drugs for me. Yeah. And rather than me having a free flow, especially in the night, sometimes I'll go to the bathroom. I'm waiting for the pee to come out. But I know I got to pee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can feel it. It's at the tip of my penis. And then the thing will be just dropping like, just like a leaking faucet. Boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
It's like I have to... sometimes I stay in the bathroom for 10, 15 minutes because I want to pee. And no sooner do I go back to my bed to try to get some sleep, I want to go back to the bathroom again for a pee that is just delaying me. So, of course, I started to, I came to London, I saw some few people. They gave me the cost of they said the best thing for me to do was yank it off, yank all my prostate out, so I could pee properly, because that was a killer as far as my lifestyle was concerned, and
Mm.
the fact that it really damaged me psychologically. Okay,
Mm.
so it was when I came to London. I think that was last year. Yeah, I now met up with this famous Nigerian doctor who said to me, "Listen, I mean, you could do this back home, and for your kind of person who is always advocating for, you know, how things should be done in Nigeria, and you're an advocate for fixing our medical sectors, properly, rather than only those who have money traveling abroad. That he comes to Nigeria once every 3 months or every other month.
Mm.
That this thing can be done in Nigeria." So when he now came, which was about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks ago, he now visited Nigeria. So I went to see him again, and he asked me a bunch of questions. And he said to me, point blank, "I feel your your prostrate probably have gone into your bladder. And that's why you're having this problem. And if it's gone into the bladder, it's a breeding ground for cancer in no time. Because all wetin not supposed to mix, they don't begin mix. And he says to me, I'm going to sit right here, go to so place. This is he said there are only 3 places I can vouch for in Nigeria where you can do your MIR. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I will trust the results they gave me. So he gave me, he gave me the address. I went there. I did the test, and I came back to him only for him to confirm that the prostate has gone into my bladder. So 2-3 days after that, we had to do the procedure, which is what's it called now? Laparoscopy,
Laparoscopy.
where they yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing it properly.
Yeah.
Where they insert this tube. It's a laser. It's also a video.
Mm-hmm.
They insert it through your penis, and it goes. They see whatever they're doing on the big screen. You understand, and they're guided by the screen. So that's how I went and yanked the whole thing off, and yeah. The first 4 days after I did that, it was hell on earth. I always dreaded to pee because it was hurting so bad, and I was pissing blood all the time, for 4 days, and then that stopped. But like the doctor already told me, it's going to take me about 5 weeks to heal. So that's my story.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, real wow.
Wow.
Real wow.
I mean, you were in London last year. I was with you at different times. I know that you say so many things jokingly. So even I didn't take some of the things you said so seriously. So,
I
yeah.
know.
So
But I
it's,
like to laugh at my problem.
that's right.
I don't, I mean, that's the way I get by. I
Yeah.
just laugh at my problem.
Yeah.
You can imagine a whole Charlie boy. I've sold so many wild oats in this beautiful world, only for me then for my kidney not to walk again.
And that thing is very
No,
serious, very
I
important
just
to
say,
you of all people. In fact,
to be of all people, can you imagine?
you know, I'm gonna come back to you. Just give me a moment. I just want to first go
No
to
problem.
I want to go to Dr. Clive. Dr. Clive, can you give us a little bit of a medical or scientific background to everything you've heard Charlie Boy say about what happened to him? Then I'm going to go to Susan. Susan is a herbalist, and she is very well knowledged in these sort of manhood problems. So I'm excited to listen to what she has to say. Chido, I'll come to you. Just give me a moment. Dr. Clive, from everything you heard Charlie Boy say, what is your take on it as to how it took 4 years or 5 years for them to really know what the issue is, that surgery was needed?
Okay, good evening. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, everybody. I want to first of all sympathize with my, will I say, grandfather now, Charlie Boy.
Stop that. Stop that nonsense
You've
about
had
your father.
such
Am
a
I your
terrible
grandfather?
experience.
He says,
My,
wait. He says, stop that. Don't call him grandfather. Who is your grandfather?
oh,
I
okay,
have to make sure that you heard
area father,
that.
area father. I'm so sorry you had to pass through all of that. You know, these things happen to even the best of us, and the prostate is is a part of the male body. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear
Yeah,
you.
it's a part of the male body that plays a role in, of course, as Charlie Boy has said, the production of sperm. You know, it's somewhere around the base of the penis. You know, in the body, and prostate issues, benign prostatic hyperplasia, prostate cancer, they are very common in adult males. I think from 50 and above.
Hmm.
You know, so, and given the position of the prostate, any enlargement of the prostate gland will affect urine flow during micturition. Micturition is the process of releasing urine, like peeing. You know, we call it micturition. So, um, enlargement of the prostate reduces the diameter of the urethra through which the urine flows out from the bladder. So the man was having those urinary retention issues with urinating and all of that because of the enlargement of that gland. It sort of it sort of applied so much pressure on that tiny pipe through which the urine is supposed to pass, that the pipe became too tiny for the volume of urine that is producing to pass, and it could be a very painful and discomforting experience. So my take is, it's a call on adult males all over the world to take self-examination very seriously. You don't have to wait until you start having symptoms to go for routine checks. As long as you are 45, 50 and above, you should make it you should make it part of your, if possible, annual routine, to go for PSA, to go for such investigative procedures, to find out how is my prostate doing, how is my bladder doing, how is my testes, how is everything. It's always easier and cheaper to investigate and know the state of these structures or tissues or organs
Hmm.
than to pass through the stress of having these symptoms and then having to go through the treatment eventually.
Hmm. So, could there have been anything that could have been done if they discovered on time that something had to be done
Yes,
about it?
early detection usually gives the doctor leverage. You heard area father talking about cancer. The prostate, enlargement of the prostate glands can begin as a benign lesion. Benign
Hmm.
lesions are lesions that do not cause trouble. you know a lesion is an abnormal growth.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not causing trouble, if it is not spreading, we call it benign. When it starts spreading from one tissue to another, we call it malignant.
Malignant.
It is possible for a benign lesion to undergo what we call malignant transformation.
Right.
If you don't detect it on time, it can undergo malignant transformation and then it becomes cancerous.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So, Susan, I haven't listened to what Area Father said. In your expert opinion as a herbalist, if he knew on time, or say he didn't even know, what could have been done if he was to have knowledge of herbal medicine or access to herbal medicine? So, say for instance, he's been told this is the issue. Could there have been anything he can do with natural remedy, or in your?
Yes, Susan, good evening. Area father, I greet you. I hail from Madrid.
Mhm.
It's my honor to talk to my area father. Yeah, I say this all the time. Make I use pidgin English where they comfortable with before I come to meet him with Spanish.
Mhm.
I say I dey talk am all the time for my live stream. Say it good make men they go for this test. This PTA, this specific antigen test where they're supposed to detect go and make them the test. So like our doctor said just now, to say in go on time. Things for day what we for do. We get help, we get the infusion where you go to take that will make you to shrink as intake analyzer and just now from benign to malignant before it will turn to cancer, that can be able to help him shrink all those things. It not be just only cancer, for any other medicine at all, any other sickness at all. You understand? When they catch them early, the possibility they say we go fit do a lot of things. Like in jokingly said, just say area father, they always they joke say, Bola no they walk again, no, nothing I go fit do for my own case again, because it don't reach that stage where they say nothing we go fit do. So I go still using this opportunity to tell other people like Dr. Cliff talk just now, say make we they go for that routine checkup where we don't attain some certain age for life is very important. This stage, there is nothing herbal medicine can be able to do, but for earlier stage, we've got a lot of herbal treatment where we will fit apply.
And also to prevent it,
And
not
to prevent it
necessarily getting
exactly.
it bad.
Exactly, because we have some herb, we have some medicinal plants where they very, very rich in antioxidants. We go fit help us to take shrink or take those things down so that you know go fit grow past the way it did before.
Mhm.
Yes, we have to prevent, and if it don't fit it, they make it take burn them down.
I'm a firm believer in natural remedies. That's one thing. Firm believer.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have to wait for me to start feeling sick. When they say
before
let
you
your
take
food
it.
be your medicine, that's
Mhm.
my motto for life. Let your
That's
food
it.
be your medicine.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Chido, really quickly, in Nigeria, I believe you're still in Nigeria. Are you still in Nigeria, Dr. Chido? I can't hear you.
I am back in UK.
Oh, you're back here. You spent a long time in Nigeria. What were your observations? Like we're talking about how stereotyping makes people not want to talk about issues like this publicly. It's quite embarrassing for a lot of people. Only a few people, like Area Father, can really stand out and talk about these things. Especially at a time when they're still going through, these this sort of challenge, medical or health challenge. What is the reason? What were your observation when you spent a lot of time back at
Okay,
home,
okay. Thank you
especially
so much for that
for
question.
someone like
First of
you
all, let
living in
me.
the UK and going back, and the medical facilities we have back home is really, really in most cases nothing, little or nothing to write home about. Do
Okay,
you think that the reason people really don't come about these things is because, first of all, you talk about these things and then you don't have the money to get the sort of treatment that you need, or and then you become, it's a cultural or traditional thing that I'm not really sure. Just give your own thoughts on it.
okay. First of all, let me appreciate the very like-minded people that's gathered here today. Charlie Boy, it was a hard work getting you on this program today. Because Susan said without you, it's not going to happen. I said, Susan, listen, we're going to get Charlie Boy on board. We need him because it is about his story. He's the one that's experienced this and he had the courage to, come out to Nigerians and say, I had prostate cancer. I think essentially the element in this conversation today is the stereotype on, on certain diseases, especially, prostate cancer. I was looking at Medical Association. They said a report showed that prostate cancer has become the number one cancer in Nigeria, in
In
Nigerian
Nigeria,
men. Yeah, in Nigerian men, and constitutes 11% of all male cancer. The median age of patients was 67.5 years. So now it is actually an epidemic. And I think one major reason is the fact that people don't want to talk about diseases, not only cancer, actually, even diabetes, mental health problems are not
Mm.
frequently discussed in Nigeria. There's stereotype on it. It is associated to a poverty disease, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember why we were growing up, most of our parents who had children with, special needs tend to isolate them because they don't
That's
want people to see
Yeah,
them. So that
you're very correct.
stereotype still exists today. But I think what Charlie Boy can do for us is to become the voice for emancipating people, giving them that
absolutely.
awareness. If Charlie Boy can go through this, anyone can actually go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we need to sensitize the society, you know, um, like Dr. Clive said, Dr. Clive is actually the celebrity uh, doctor at Hungry and Angry. So we use him for, when we need expertise, medical expertise, we bring him aboard. Someone like him has proffered so many solutions to combating the stereotype. If more people can come out and speak about it, Charlie Boy is a superstar in Nigeria. He's a mega star
Mm.
Yeah.
around the world. Everybody knows about him. So he summoned the courage to come and talk about these very private affairs, which most people wouldn't want to talk about in Nigeria. Buhari had to, sorry, I have to mention this. He had to hide his constantly hiding his sicknesses from us,
Even as a
if you understand
president.
what I mean.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the president. I mean, Nigerians wants to know his medical position. He doesn't want to divulge that with us. I can connect that with my own dad. Could you believe my dad had a problem with his eyes? I didn't know about it. It was only when I was in my 40s that I knew my dad had a problem with his eyes. So he hid it from us, from the
Mm.
family.
Wow.
Again, so this is the kind of thing that we don't speak out all the time. And it's good we have someone that's coming from the Harbour department as well, because
Mm.
I do appreciate her a lot. Susan, I think you and I share the same, um, ideology when it comes to herbs.
To her.
I think
Thank you.
I think there is a thin line between the medical and the, herbs.
The herb.
They intertwine.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I can say is this: it is very good that we are here, we are speaking loud, and I think we are the only people addressing issues like this in Nigeria. I've been watching Arise television. I thought they could have taken Charlie Boy's situation up,
And
if you
yes,
understand what I'm saying. Yeah, but obviously we are surrounded with political issues. Do you understand what I mean? As much as Charlie Boy's voice goes very loud, this is the time when how do we how do we sensitize Nigerians? How can we use Charlie Boy to change narrative, the approach towards, how people see? There was Susan. You said something about, how do I perceive the Nigerians when I was there? Listen, it's unbelievable because these are all associated to. Some of them are associated to spiritual problems. Some people who have prostate cancers, because we have poor diagnosis in Nigeria. We don't have, hospitals. Clive is my dentist when I'm in Nigeria. He takes care of my teeth. In fact, the last time he treated my teeth, it costed me about equivalent of 18,000 naira. If I want to do that in England, I would have spent about 200 or 150 pounds. That's a lot of
A
money. But I
lot.
have
Yeah.
to wait to come back to Nigeria so that
mm.
Clive can take care of my teeth.
So you,
So
you
if
you
I'm
you left the UK just to get your teeth checked out in Nigeria because it's more affordable. It's cheaper
no, it wasn't the reason. I said when I am in Nigeria, I have a
when
lot
you
of
are in
reasons
Nigeria.
why. So when I'm in Nigeria, so he is my dental because it's cheaper for me and his job is quiet. When he does my teeth, it's almost like I don't feel no vibration. Like here, they
He's
just
an
treat you
expert.
like
Mm.
yeah, yeah, he's an expert. So so and me and him we talk often about issues relating to how the medical problems in Nigeria, how they hidden, how that has continued to add to our short life expectancies.
Mm-hmm.
If you look
Yeah.
these days, you see that a lot of Nigerians are dying. When I was in Nigeria, I was observing no one was living up to 70 years. No, the threshold for death in Nigeria is 58 years. If you cross 58 years, even Clive can confirm that. So a lot of people are not living longer now. Area Father is a supernatural human being. That's why he's crossed that threshold. He's 71. He looks great. He had a little medical challenges, and that he's conquered it. Because last time I was speaking with him, I was coming from a point of view of someone who was trying to sympathize with him, and then realized straight away that he dismissed those sympathies and said to me, "Listen, I'm cool. I'm going to do my gym." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"But sir, you just come out from hospital the other day." So again, this is the kind of inspiration that I get from him when I speak with him, because I
Yeah.
think he's an awesome guy. He has
Yeah.
to be around. We and him, we've been part of this NSAS thing. We've been part
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
People Beast movement. So he's
Mm.
part of it. He's powering it. He's geared to changing Nigeria before he exits. I know that's
That's
what he
right.
wants,
Mm-hmm.
and all of us are
Okay.
on it. And Susan, thank you
I want
so
to. I
much
want to
for.
go. I want to go back to Charlie Boy and ask him.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you spoke about the reason why it took 4 years. Did you try to get help, or did you not do anything about it until you were told in the UK? Because of course we know that, yeah, you are different. You're able to talk about quite a lot of things that are seen to be taboo in our culture publicly. However, it took you 4 or 5 years. Is it that the doctors in Nigeria didn't see this on time? Did you seek help to find out why you're having problems down there, or did you also get affected with the stereotypical problems of talking about these sort of things? Is that why it took you this long?
Well, it took me almost 4 years, not almost four.
Almost
Yeah,
four.
yes. The first year, they just said, "Oh, you have," and that's not Nigerian doctors, so it's a Swedish doctor, because I was vacationing in what is it called? In Stockholm, Sweden. I go there almost every year, every other year. Yeah, and I do regular checkups there. Yeah, and they just said, "Oh, you have a little enlargement, but it's nothing to worry about." So if the doctor is telling me it's nothing to worry about, why should I start worrying?
That's
But
right.
as the years rolled by, I was it was getting uglier and uglier and uglier. Like I said, it first started in the second year. In the first year, there was really no symptom. I could read properly, easily, yeah.
Hmm.
But they've already announced that you have an enlarged prostate. It was 4 years ago. I heard that. Okay.
Hmm.
Now year, the second year was when the peeing stop started. Okay. I went back to the same doctor, I think in Stockholm, and said, "Okay, well, it's blocked, and you take this drugs, you take this, and you'll be all right." And
Right.
doctor has spoken. So I went back, I started to take those things. That was when, like I said earlier on, I was having, this bladder was peeing all over the place. But as soon as that drug helped to calm my bladder down,
It
okay,
did more damage.
but it did more damage because, I wasn't producing sperm any longer,
Hmm.
and I wasn't enjoying sex any longer, okay. And then in the third year, and all this time I've been going for my PSA, and they will say things like, "Oh, both in Nigeria, abroad,
Hmm.
in London." I did one the last time I came to London just last year, November. And they say, "Oh, you have your PSA, it's okay, it's okay, it's nothing to be worried about." And then when they tell me say it's okay, me I'm not okay. They
Mm-hmm.
keep telling me I'm okay for my age. 2.5 is reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was this year. Now the doctor, the one that I told you I met in London,
Yeah.
when he now came to Nigeria, he asked me a bunch of questions, and he can already deduce the fact that listen, this your thing has grown ballistic. He told me even before I brought the MRI report. But meanwhile, in my second year, I've tried all the herbs. I did try herbs.
Hmm.
You know, when I tried everything. Okay, and everybody turned to a medical director. And then they tell me, oh yeah, can't take this one. Oh yeah, you don't try shower shop. Oh yeah, you don't try this. While not taking anything away from Susan, I think those herbs, those natural herbs, you know, do well in keeping your prostate enlargement at bay. I think they're better,
Mm-hmm.
not when they
Far better.
go already.
Mm. That's right.
Is before anything, if you're taking those things, and some of the things that were recommended for me, some were looking as dark as devil, some were looking, you know, and I don't like bitter things, and I have a sweet tooth. So they had me concerned. So I couldn't take those things for long. So whether it did any worked on me or not, I wouldn't know. You know, it
Yeah.
was like because I take my health serious, and which I try to tell a lot of men to do. Everybody, you know, they should. You know, I mean, for me, health is wealth. My
Yeah.
parents lived till almost 100. My grandparents lived over 100. So, you know, I mean, that's why I am youthful all the time because apart from the young people being my major constituency, I believe in them. They teach me new stuff and stuff like that.
Mm.
I have a young mind, you know, even though money is growing, my breath is dying, everything is shutting down on me. This life no balance.
No
No.
balance. So, you know, before be, there's one more thing I want to ask, which is to understand. I want people to understand. Did it get to was it already malignant or was it still benign when they took it out? Because that's a part that is not clear to me.
I want to ask questions.
You don't enter my league land you don't they enter the next stage because like I said, the doctor said to me, even before I did the MRI, he said, listen, he's suspecting that this thing has grown into your blood.
Right.
And if it's into your blood, it's a very, you know, though they took a sample after they proceeded taking a sample, they want to really go and check.
Your
Yeah.
voice is sounding far away, area father.
Yeah. How about now?
Yeah. Susan.
Yeah.
Susan has a question, the herbalist.
Okay.
Okay. Area father, I beg. I won't ask this question because of those ways they watch us too. Apart from say you not going to enjoy knacking and those pain, any other thing they where you observe where you feel share with us?
That one never reach. That one don't kill a man now. But then again, it's just that sex becomes so uninteresting. But
Yeah.
maybe it's because of somebody like me, or because I really did sow my wild oats. So if I don't get pregnant now, you don't go worry me because I don't try. You understand?
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough. And that's why men are very. Do you know that there are a lot of men who can't even talk to their wives about their problem?
About it.
So if you talk to your wife, who else you go talk to now?
Yeah.
Okay, my
Yeah.
people say if you hide sickness, that sickness go hide. You
Yeah.
understand? I know they had sickness, but I guess because of this, everybody they try, they form macho. You know,
Yeah.
all these cliches. Men don't cry. Me, I dey cry. If something pain me reach, I go cry. It doesn't make me less of a man.
Yeah.
Okay? If I get problem, I go shout and make the whole world know see problem. Yo, who get solution? Make una give me or make I solve my problem. Okay?
That's right.
And the worst hit regionally, as far as Nigeria is concerned, the worst hit people na Igbo guys because na them they conservative, na they way they operate on the Mungo Park mentality. So they know they quick talk because I go to tell a woman, you go to tell your fellow man say your kidney no they work again. The thing is, no, men are not. Even the time that I did that video, when I said, before I used to like riding bikes, so now I no longer ride bikes. So before I used to like women, now back in they walk now. So which I go to? Do you know how many men called me and say, man, you're scandalizing manhood, though. You're not supposed to be talking like that. And I'm like, what do they mean I'm not supposed to be talking like that? Now see, they do me at the top.
Yeah.
But because of the way I present my problems, because that's the way I deal with it from a comical perspective. People, they make the mistake of not taking me serious. Because the guy, Charlie boy don't come in. How you prick not go to work? Well, I want to see me. The boy just a cat loose.
Right.
But yeah. Not until they saw me in the hospital, I did that video that went around, telling my doctors and what I've been through. And people started to, okay, so this is not true. Um, but it's they have something, like we all agreed, the doctor has said, Susan has said, everybody is agreeing to it. The earlier once you keep an equal eye on your health and what's happening in your body, your vital organs always good. The doctor said every year, once a year, but I would suggest every 6 months, especially if you don't cross 70. Every 6 months, check yourself. Because all of us get one sickness or the other in our body.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep checking, God will help you, that sickness no will come out. Or even if you won't come out, you go catch up. The doctors go catch up early.
Yeah.
That's right. Susan,
Yeah.
take it away. Like, seriously, generally speaking, you want to advise men back home in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria or Africa, because we have people viewing us all around the continent of Africa. But what are the sort of, knowing that we don't have the sort of facilities that we have in Europe, where people just walk in, the first thing that comes to a person's mind back home is money, money, money. Because you and I know that you go to a hospital, the first thing they're asking you is pay money for card, open card. And as little as that amount of money is to open a card is a big deal for a lot of people back home.
Yep.
And these are in my opinion, there are people who know that they need to see a doctor, but then they are not going to see a doctor because first, right now, they're not sick. And why should they go and pay that kind of money to open a card? Because first, you're not going to get anyone to see you. So what kind of advice would you give in your expert opinion as a herbalist, because these are things that we can easily access as ordinary people who can't afford western treatment or medicine, at least not for a treatment, prevented a way to prevent these sort of things from getting to the point where we need um, surgery, or at
Yeah.
least find it out on time.
Yeah, I say this most of the time on my live stream, how you can be able to check your prostate, I mean your broncos yourself, when you're bathing. I tell my men, you don't bathe with cold water when you want to do that. At least warm water, lukewarm water, so that the broncos region go they relax, so you can be able to check if there is any bump or lump there for your broncos. Okay, and we get a lot of things, like I say all the time, you don't have to wait for you to be sick before you start taking all this herbal tea. We have a lot of herbal tea that you can infuse, where you go feed a take, where go break all those cancerous cells within your body, shrink them or melt them down. You understand? We have all these things and they are free. God bless Nigeria. God bless African continent as a whole. We get all these things. Most of the herb where me they sell, where I they market, where I they talk about. Now Europe here, now they for the get them. So many of them are from Africa. I come across bitter leaf the other day for where I did get some of my hair for castle. The pack now €20. That's a lot. You can get that at the backyard of your house to take. We're talking about prostate now. We get other sickness like that doctor talked just now, like the hypertension, like diabetes and all that we can use all this herbal tea to take prevent. All this Oyibo medicine, we are just too used to it, and they are chemically processed. As you take them, if they still they do other thing for your body, that is if they do damages.
Just like the boy said, the medication
said just now,
ended up,
yeah. So I go advise us make we they feed ourselves on all those food where they kill that sickness. Like we have cancerous, cancer killing, fighting food. I did a 1-minute video on my channel where I was talking about cancer and things you can eat that can be able to help you to kill those things, So when you're eating well, you're eating all those things. Like Charlie Boy told just now, say some bitter. Yes, it really bitter. But if you know what you're looking for in that herb, you go just gulp and close eye. The bitterness not be forever now, for a very short period of time. So you take it so that all those things not go occur. I know it's not everybody that have the luxury to go to the hospital, but we have all these things surrounding us. Even me when they abroad, at times when I they walk out for street, I they see some of all this leaf. I go pluck them. Not to talk of Nigeria with good weather and all that. We have all these plants around us that we can take to help ourselves with all these things.
Today we're talking really about what we're focusing on
cancer.
Charlie Boy has gone through. Like, he has already confirmed that it was malignant, which means it's already
cancerous.
Yeah. So this can be applied to every and any area of our lives. Like, I live here in Europe, but every day of my life, I have a habit of starting my day drinking natural remedies. Even when I was talking to a friend and I said, even in the winter, I hardly ever come down with a cold. If I caught a cold, is because I probably have shared something with someone who already has a cold or a cough. Even at that, my body just recovers so quickly because I'm not.
Your immune system are okay.
Yeah, because I'm not waiting once the gut health is good, once you're feeding
you're good to go.
Your gut with the right things, it's there to help fight for you and help, as the army waiting to, attack any people, anything trying to encroach into the space, basically. So for me, it's like, whatever we're doing, you sometimes might be doing the right things just to prevent a particular thing, but then it's fighting everything else all over your body. So you might be taking something else for the purpose of your bola, as you say it, right?
Yeah.
And then that particular thing will be taking care of something else because it's
exactly natural. That's how the herbal medicine works.
Exactly. So, Dr. Chido, let me bring you back on because we're rounding up shortly. Before I bring you on, because Charlie Boy is on the phone, I would just like for him to give his final thoughts so I can let him go, and then we'll just round up.
Let me chip in. Let me chip in this before he goes, please. Okay, let me chip in this before he goes. Is that okay?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned the point which struck me. The hindrances people encounter before they get to hospital, and that sometimes delays diagnostics that leads to early death as well. There's a whole lot of bureaucracy, medical bureaucracy in Nigeria. Even I can tell you they have religious bureaucracy I took my kids, Ezinne and Amanze, I took them to Nigeria last year. I pulled them out from here, England, then took them to Nigeria, enrolled them in school. The reason why I did that was I wanted them to see how things play out in that part of Nigeria. So what happened is this: my daughter fell ill. She fell ill, so and I didn't know what to do, because here is very simple. You call ambulance, you go to A&E, but I didn't even know what hospital to go to, because I had to let my brothers make a choice for me of which hospital. So they ended up asking me to go to the public hospital. So I went there. On arrival, my daughter was having pains, severe pains. So I was expecting the nurses, like they do here, to first of all acknowledge someone that is in pains. But do you know the first question they asked me? They said to me, "Are we Catholic or Anglicans?" If you understand what I'm trying to say, that was the first question. Say it again.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, real time, happening to me. That's what I experienced. So they first of all wanted to know if I was Anglican or I was Catholic. Remember that the healthcare system in Anambra State was built upon Anglican, because the Anglican is the most powerful, religious institution in Anambra State. So they tend to, give concession to people who are Anglicans. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that is also a medical bureaucracy. I talked about people's belief as well, like their spirituality, the stereotype, the way they look at people who have these diseases. But even to afford the money to go to a hospital is a problem. So we have collective problems that will result to our people not reaching help when they need it. So like here where we are, if I have a problem now, I'll simply, call the ambulance and they will come and pick me up or something like that. But we don't have that in Nigeria. We don't have ambulance system. There's no call out. Okay. So so the thing is this. What do we do to highlight again this situation? How can we use Charlie Boy's situation as a way to bring this awareness to Nigerians? Because I think there are real problems that you really need to be on ground to experience obstacles, impediments that people go through in Nigeria. They say most of our deaths are actually avoidable deaths. Most deaths that we die in Nigeria are actually avoidable. They're not supposed to kill people.
True.
Yeah, so you find out that ignorance sometimes leads to death.
Avoidable.
I see people. Yeah, I see people who their main healthcare system is the chemist. Yeah, when I got to Nigeria, my brothers asked me to go and no, not my brothers, my cousin asked me to go to the chemist down the road and register my daughter so she can get medication. Do you understand what I mean? And medication includes, prescription medicines are given over the counter in Nigeria. And then,
okay, so let's get Charlie Boy in so that he can just give.
Okay.
Yes, I want Charlie Boy to say words to our young men too. What to do and how to go about it, for checkup and all that. Please do Area Boy.
He can hear you.
Area Boy, is the Ebola still working? We've not asked that question before.
No, Ebola not the work again.
Still too early. It's only been out a week, so the doctor says it will take 5 weeks to heal. So that's not a question for now.
But does he have to test it? Does he have to test it?
Okay, he can hear you. He can hear you. Let him answer.
Area, sir. Okay.
He's asking.
Sir, I'm answering the Ebola can
No, speak English, please.
The Ebola is still working, because we have we want to know now, because a lot of women in Nigeria want to know. The hottest, sexiest man in Nigeria.
He's
married. A lot of girls want to know. Yeah, but he's still hot. He's married, but he's still hot.
The girls shouldn't know because of that. It's not their business.
Okay.
Okay, area father, they want to know if the Ebola is still working, and did they remove? I don't know what they removed.
Just my prostate.
Just the
And yeah,
prostate.
it's still working.
It's still working, he
But
said.
before uncle,
Okay. Wow. Nice.
He said before, uncle.
but now for me to say I want it to work, I'm on sabbatical
He's on
during a
sabbatical.
year.
Okay.
Okay.
For how long?
For 1 whole year.
Excuse me. What I want to tell young people, to say to young people, see, when we were 19, we behaved in a certain way. Okay, anything knockable was knockable. When you reach 30, you behave like people like the 30. When you are 40, you behave like a 40-year-old. Yeah. So things in life are in stages. But the only thing I'll tell young people is that they should start early forming that act of, exercising, taking, I mean, somebody says 71. No, point of correction, 72, going to 73.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and go see instead. When I come up from hospital, people are asking me, person will look like you. I had the say they see. Because of how I was looking, I take good care of myself. And young people need to make that a habit.
Yeah.
Always, not to be lazy around, to stay and, not to do nothing. Because first and foremost, it's about your health.
Mm-hmm.
Your health, if you have good health, you probably will have also complementing it good mental state of health. They seem to go together. So I advise young people, and they should remember that one day they're going to get old. So if you don't, even though I abuse my own youth to make I not talk like say I descend, I abuse my youth. That is why now nothing really they hungry. If I not married today, I probably the brainiest of women. I might go because I also like intellectual intercourse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and I've been hearing Chido talk about sensitizing, especially Nigeria. I want to tell you all guys that I'm the ambassador of Mumbosi Foundation, and that foundation started as a result of prostate cancer.
Okay.
Okay, so they advocate, and as far as I'm concerned, this hospital why I don't come, the whole world must hear my story. Yeah, they must hear and they must learn from it. So people can start men can start to know that it's all right to be open.
Mm-hmm.
No man will say he no get friends or he no get family members that they trust. Talk to people about your problem because you'll be shocked and surprised that it's almost everybody will get that same problem with the hide. So there's nothing to hide. Now till I started going very vocal about mine, I couldn't believe the amount of people who had the same problem. They started to tell me about theirs. So men should be more open because already we are suffocating, especially men waiting for this country, this country called Nigeria. Apart from the, the hopelessness of the rulers and the ruiners of Nigeria, okay? Apart from the frustration they're dishing out to everybody, okay? The finances have sort of gone down. So men who are originally know men as the breadwinner and the this thing, no, their job has been overtaken by women. And how does that make a man feel? Not too good. Because a man will not get money. You don't get prick, you don't get bronchos. Well, I mean, go and hang yourself now. Do you understand? So already it's bad as it is. And women, please, especially wives, be more understanding. Don't be say you get somebody, because when this thing they start new, be like saying me and my wife going to get issue. Yeah, so I know run for your eye again. And I say, look, you like that.
Yeah.
How many people I want that? Not gonna food. No. You know? So people should get educated and they should read more about this, because 8 out of every 10 men will get it. That is a shock.
That's high.
Yeah, very, very high.
This is 8 out of 10. People should start preparing for it. So make you not do them the strong thing where the thing do. That is it. But the advocacy of this, I'll keep preaching it like I do every other thing I believe in. And on that note, thank you all for listening. I hope you learned something from it. Let me go and do my manly bit. Maybe I go even test it.
Okay.
All right, Area Father, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
We have to do this again another time when we can see your face, Area Father.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We did hear everything you said clearly. Catch you on the other side.
Thank you, Chido. Thank you, Susan 1 and 2. Thank you for listening to my.
All right.
All right, Area Father. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Yeah. Okay. Sue.
Yep.
This is where you take it. You remember where he said, just we're not going to go on for too long, but he did say that at the beginning of this problem, he had issues even convincing his wife, yeah? Couldn't, get the thing up. So apparently, even the most
I'm
exposed,
sorry.
educated, supportive wife that I know his wife to be, didn't even understand it. So Dr. Chido, I know you're on the move. Okay. So you can imagine the difficulty he would have had to live with, struggling mentally, battling this mentally, and having to also convince his better half the reason why he's not able to perform. I mean, this is a marriage. This is not a boyfriend and girlfriend thing. Even though he says this thing is not food. When you're very young, it's like food. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, literally just take a little bit of summarization of everything we've talked about today.
Yeah, thank you once again, Susan, for having me. I'm so honored to be here. Like he said, like you said too, everybody knowing wife, saying wife na very vast woman, for her to come take a difficult time to take fit no, say, oh, this is what my husband is going through. Some men, the reason why some women don't understand it. Like they will tell us, don't tell a cancer patient, oh, I know how you feel. You never know how they feel because you've never been there. You understand? In as much as you're trying to explain to your partner, this is what is wrong with me, it will still take them time because they are not in your shoe. They don't know what you're going through. Bola not be waiting, you will just carry the race. No, it doesn't raise. It doesn't raise. Even when sickness never do their body, Bola get to see things for Bola to get up. You get what I'm saying? No talk of when sickness don't already did there. So, and he said another striking thing just now that, men, please don't hide anything away from your partner. Because hiding it away from them, they will see you as the monster. Oh, maybe I'm not attractive because I don't born for you now. You don't find me attractive anymore. So it will even take it will make it easier if you allow your partner to know and read and explain about what you're going through. We not be this now, we they understand, women they understand. But when we are ignorant of that simple thing, okay, now your prostate get problem, what it can happen to where they raise. But some people are forgetting that this our whole body, or all our body, they are interconnected. You understand? Once one thing is wrong with one, it can affect the whole body. day, you know. So please, I will urge my men to not to hide it, go for checkup. I think they said that from 40 it's good you go for that prostate test where they will insert their hand inside your anus to check, you know. He was suffering the enlargement because when the thing don't swell, the urethra, that's this thing where they say urethra, that carries out the urine, became so small for the urine to pass. That's why he said he was having that drop, and later
Mm.
he will go there, no pee at all. You understand? So that is it. They should go for checkup to see what they are going through, how they can be able to overcome it, because any sickness at all, when it is detected earlier, it can be taken care of, you know. So I'm so happy that he came out. Somebody like Charlie Boy is coming out to talk about his problem, his eye opener, because a lot of men, and that number he gave just now, that 8 out of 10 men, the possibility of them having this is there, you know.
That's
So
high.
yeah, it's very, very high,
It
very, very
literally it just shows 80% of men will definitely experience. That's high. It just means
yeah,
we need to face. It's like you're just knowing there's a fight coming. You need to face it head on. You can't run away from
exactly.
it, especially when it has to do with your body. This also should apply to women because even here, the moment you clock 40, you see your GP is writing to you to come and do all sorts of tests. And
Mm-hmm.
just like Charlie Boy, I'm the only thing I probably haven't done is to be public. But when it comes to my family and friends, anything is wrong with me, everybody knows about it.
Yeah,
I'm singing. Oh my God, this is what they say. Oh, I'm a drama queen. So
me too.
my household, my
I
children,
even
my
I even
family.
say mine on my live stream. Oh, this is what Susan is going through now.
Yeah, yeah.
I always want people to know, you know.
Yes, because that's the only way, even if it's just getting someone say something nice, positive, that's how you get help, you get healing. So I think Dr. Chido is gone. So literally, I just want to say that for people who live back home in Nigeria, let your food,
Be
let
your
yeah,
medicine.
no, let your food be your medicine because we don't have the luxury that people in the Western world have, which is if anything is wrong with me, I can call 119. Is it 119? I can call a 911. I can call anything. I can call the ambulance. I can call helpline. I can just walk into accident and emergency, and they will look me in.
You
They're not
attend
going to look
to
at me and say, "Oh, you look fine," and so you sit down there. No, they take every single case as serious, and
mm-hmm.
so what we have to do for ourselves, whether you're a man or a woman, is let your food be your medicine and let your medicine not become your food, which
Your
is
food.
you already know you live in a place that is disenfranchised in many ways. There is a lack of medical healthcare facilities, or even when they are too. I mean, Charlie Boy literally spent 5 million. He told me 5 million naira for this surgery. When he was here in London, they gave him a bill that was in thousands and thousands of pounds. This is to say that even back home, it is possible to get serious surgeries like this done successfully, but there are many of us who cannot even afford
For
hospital
you.
card. These are the kind of people that I want to talk to, the people who live by under $1 a day, or people who so-called middle class, which is for me in Nigeria, middle class is a facade. It's not true because most people you see as middle class are living from hand to mouth and everything is just a show. So for me is what you begin to do from this moment is what's going to make the difference. At least even for women, I've heard women who take herbal medicine or natural remedies to even shrink things like fibroid.
Fibroid.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these are things we can begin to do for ourselves. And one of the things we have to know is that everybody has one life to live. You don't owe nobody any explanation. You don't have nobody else other than the creator who gave you life has power over you. So we should learn to live to begin this culture of taking away power from people's hands when it comes to things that affects us personally and our lives, giving people so much power as per what they think, what they say. They're going to gossip, they're going to laugh anyway. Should they laugh over your dead body, or should they laugh and then you find solution to your problems? So let's begin to take the first steps. Eat right, live right, do all the right things, that Susan, you can tell them, what are the little things they can begin to inculcate into their lifestyle. One of the things first is rest a lot, drink a lot of water, eat
Yes.
natural foods, and if especially us
And
who are always taking things from borrowing Western cultures. You see, processed foods, canned foods. These are things we should take away from our list of things to buy, because first of all, we cannot introduce ourselves to such a lifestyle that
yeah,
exposes us to these sort of big man diseases. Okay, we don't even have the facilities to deal with it, and not everything is spiritual. So,
at all.
Susan, quickly, let's. I normally do something. I take reads from people who comment. So I'm just going to quickly see how much of it I can do here before we call it a day. By the way, this is the first broadcast we've had in over a year. Susan,
And
thank
many
you
more
for
to
coming.
come. You're
Short
welcome.
notice. And Linda says, greetings to everyone. People's Choice Gist TV says, hello, everyone. And Annette's Door, hello, beautiful. Log in next time. Da 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 da. People's Choice, nice to meet you too. Yeah. And Charles, you mean, okay, that is probably not relevant as Area Father is not here now. And Charles says, always nice to see beautiful Susan back on the screen with issues that matters. And wow, this is really touching story. The Lord will see you through. That's Charlie Boy. Nice and cool work for the best of Africa, I believe. Mm, and basically, yeah. And Mystic Love says, "Oh, I think I know Mystic Love
Yeah.
from your live." Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hello, Mystic Love. Greetings. Yes. Basically, and so much love, Linda. Yes. All right, all right, all right. I know a lot of people are going to catch up later with the broadcast because, of course, they were not expecting that we're coming back live as we really stopped coming live for a very long time. So share when you do see this broadcast, share, so that people can see and learn a thing or two. And of course, stop being ashamed to find help for yourself. Nobody owes your life. You and your God. Okay. All right, Sue.
All
Uh,
right. Thank you for having me.
do have
And
yourself a wonderful. What time is it in Spain?
21:44.
Past nine.
Yep.
To
To
10.
10. Yeah. Quarter
Yeah,
to 10.
yeah. All right, all right, all right. Then I'll catch you on the other side.
All right. Bye, everyone.
And by
Bye.
the way, you can follow Susan on Susan Herbal Tips. She's on Facebook. She's on TikTok. She's constantly on talking about how to take care of your male thingy.
And I
That's
talked about herbal medicine too.
right. Okay. All right
Yeah.
then. Take
All
care.
right then.
Bye
Bye.
bye. And that's the much we can take today. I'm looking forward to coming back as often as I can, of course, but keep this broadcast, share this broadcast, and look forward to seeing us again. We're always going to schedule our broadcast so you will know when we're coming live, okay? I love you all. My name is Susan West, and I'll see you again next time. Have a good rest of your night. Bye bye.